Hello movie lovers, welcome to Recap Stream. The movie begins in the hustling and bustling city of Miami, the land of white beaches and dazzling sunlight. Two detectives, Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, are driving in a car where Mike is speeding as if participating in a Fast and Furious movie, while poor Marcus is screaming at the top of his lungs, begging him to slow down. Mike explains that they are raging because Marcus got them late, like always. Marcus is queasy in the stomach and asks Mike to stop near a store to buy some ginger ale. Marcus rushes inside the store, picks some ginger ale from an ice barrel, and then picks some candy while anxiously checking out the time. While he is at the counter to pay for the two items, his gluttonous gaze falls on some hot dogs. He orders one and is about to take a bit when a gunman enters the shop and orders the cashier to empty his register. If he didn't reach the car in 15 seconds, a very mean person would be barging inside the shop grabbing their necks. While those words come out of his mouth, a wrathful Mike enters the shop looking for Marcus. In the next scene, Mike is getting married. The young bride, Christine, is giving a speech about how she met Mike when he had literally nothing but fell in love with the fire within him, and she vows that she will spend the rest of her life fanning that flame. Soon they get married, and at the reception party are joined by many prestigious guests, including Marcus's family. Mike's wedding is also attended by late Captain Howard's daughter Judy and granddaughter Callie. Marcus gives a heartwarming speech for his buddy, and then the nightly dance and music begins. While swaying wildly, Marcus suffers a heart attack and collapses in the middle. He is rushed to the hospital and given emergency care. However, Marcus's subconscious travels to a mystical beach, where he finds Howard, who whispers into his ears that his time hasn't come yet. Soon Marcus gains consciousness, and with the beat of a hip Latin track gets up on his feet, beaming ear to ear, and walks out of the room. Instantly, Mike, who had dozed off, wakes up and follows Marcus, who had gone up on the terrace appreciating life to the fullest. As Mike slowly coaxes him to step down from the treacherous ledge of the terrace, Marcus warns him that a storm is heading his way that will test him really hard. Elsewhere, in one of the skyscrapers in Miami, a chopper comes down on its terrace. A former DEA officer named James McGrath meets with a cartel banker and wants him to transfer $20 million to Captain Howard's account. McGrath has one of his goons shoot the banker's bodyguard. Next, he calls the banker's wife and shows her the face of the banker's girlfriend. The banker is forced to transfer the amount in Howard's name, and when the whole process is done, James makes the banker's girlfriend hold a gun to shoot the banker and then herself. Meanwhile, Mike is driving Marcus back home when Marcus' wife Teresa calls him, anxiously rebuking him for neglecting his health. Meanwhile, Marcus declares that both Mike and he are soulmates, and Mike chuckles at the idea. As soon as they reach home, Marcus is given a warm welcome by Teresa, his daughter Megan, son-in-law Reggie, and a grandchild. Also, Christine is present. After a passionate embrace, Marcus rummages through the kitchen cabinets and is furious when he sees his favorite snacks being replaced by healthy food like chickpeas. A frustrated Marcus protests and even tries to bribe Mike for some Skittles, but the latter refuses firmly and then leaves with Christine. The next morning, Mike gets the news that the late Captain Howard was involved in some illegal dealing with the cartels. Instantly, Mike rushes to the police department where a conference is being held. He confronts the higher officers who believe that Howard is a felon. Mike argues with Rita and Adam that if it weren't for Howard, none of them would have been holding their jobs. Bud Grice, another FBI higher-up, informs them that they knew someone was providing intelligence to a cartel moving product in South Florida, but they didn't know who it was. Adam continues that a cartel bank was shot dead a couple of weeks ago by his girlfriend, and they found a phone with Howard's contact on it. Suddenly, Howard's daughter Judy arrives, and Mike assures her that they are on the same team. However, Judy rebukes him that her dad would have been alive if it weren't for his roguish son, and vows that if she ever finds him on the street, she will put him down. Mike decides to speak to the cartel directly. Mike visits the Florida Correctional Facility to meet his son Armando. Mike inquires whether Howard is working with the cartels, and Armando negates. In fact, he reveals that Howard was after those who were dealing illegally. Mike tries to clarify that Armando killed him because Howard was on his mother's hit list, but Armando adds that Howard's name was added to the list. In a remote house, McGrath and his accomplices are busy with their foul work, but once they try to get into Howard's accounts, they trigger a failsafe that sends video messages to Mike and Marcus from Howard. While driving, Marcus nearly gets bananas when he sees a video message from Howard. As he plays it, Howard mentions that when they would get the message, he would probably be dead. He warns them about the traitors in the department, and not to trust any of them. Next, he gives them a hint that the giant Coke bottle is the key, leaving both Mike and Marcus baffled. Meanwhile, At the remote house, McGrath is informed that the message was sent to the bad boys, Marcus and Mike. Instead of killing them, McGrath orders his goons to keep an eye on them. The bad boys reach Fletcher's warehouse where he had created this bizarre studio and calls himself an artist. It is revealed that Howard had trusted Fletcher with something very important, and he is about to reveal it when McGrath shoots him on his head. The goons get away before Rita and others arrive. Marcus is about to reveal the weird text message they received, but Mike refrains him from doing so and covers up that they got a tip. He also tries to coax Rita that Howard was not stupid enough to hold fake accounts in his name. Kelly and Dorn help them unlock a scan code they grab from the surveillance pictures on the walls. There is another video message from Howard, who uncovered that he had been trying to grab the culprits for the last 9 years, and also had 2 retired cops, Sanchez and Ruiz, working with him. But both of them were killed in a sudden car crash, and he sensed foul play, so Howard never included Mike and Marcus in that case. Howard now puts the case in their hands and mentions some storage locker that has the original case files. Mike warns his team that they have to get those files, but very quietly, since they cannot trust anybody. In the prison, Armando gets ambushed by some prisoners and is targeted because he knows that Howard is innocent. Mike strives to have him transferred through a chopper. Adam agrees for Mike's sake. Both are boarded along with a caged Armando and a U.S. Marshal chopper. However, McGrath and his goons have already hijacked the helicopter and forced the pilot to send a distress message framing Mike and Marcus for the attack before McGrath slits the pilot's throat. McGrath escapes with some of his guys and leaves the chopper to go down. Armando then helps them crash land the chopper into the lake. From there, Armando wants to go solo, but Mike forces him to stay with him, since he is the only one who can identify the culprit. Mike tells him that Howard had some case files against that culprit, and now Dorn has them. Reluctantly, he agrees to help them. Meanwhile, the police survey the crash site and receive the distress message. Judy terms Mike, Marcus, and Armando's as wanted fugitives, despite Rita's defending them. McGrath puts a bounty of $5 million over the trio's head for every gang in town. Unsuccessfully, Marcus tries to bring the father-son duo together, but both are interested. Soon they come across a trawler where they get some change of clothes but are caught by some thugs. The trio flees from the spot and then hits a sleazy tease club owned by Tabitha, another informant. Mike asks for some clothes, weapons, and phones, but the lady asks Mike for some favors in return. When Mike refuses, she and her accomplices thrust their guns at them and call upon some gangsters for the bounty money. She was just stalling them by pretending to help them. Meanwhile, Judy also gets their trail and sets out to grab their necks. The trio's captor gang is attacked by a rival gang headed by Mike's cutthroat enemy Manny, who wants to avenge Mike as the latter had smashed his hand with a meat hammer. The trio hops out of the burning van, and within seconds it explodes into ashes. Judy rushes towards the charcoal van and is dismayed to find the trio vanished in thin air. Marcus, Mike, and Armando reach Dorn's house, and it is revealed that Dorn and Kelly are sweethearts in secrecy, as due to professional norms, they can't break out their relationship in public. Kelly is reluctant to tolerate Armando around her, as he can land them all in hot water despite being Mike's son, but in the end, both decide to help Mike and Marcus. Next, they scan through the 10-year data and photographs of all important higher-up officers that Captain Howard was investigating, and show their pictures one by one to Armando. But still, they are not close to reaching their target. Soon, Armando finds a picture of James McGrath and points out that he is their guy. Dorn finds out a complete biodata of James McGrath along with his work history. The team learns that he and his team were taken hostage by the cartel, and he gives them up after being tortured, leaving him as the only survivor. Mike calls Rita and informs her about their findings. Adam also learns from Rita about Mike having proof that will exonerate Howard. It is revealed that earlier Rita also had feelings for Mike. Meanwhile, McGrath also learns that the bad boys have the files, so he feigns that the cartel business is only in Spanish. Through security cameras installed in both houses, Dorn learns that McGrath has sent his goons to get Christine and Marcus's family. Marcus calls home and advises Reggie to take his family somewhere safe. Reggie drags everyone and hides them in a closet while he takes out a gun from a locker. Mike keeps on calling Christine, but it seems as if her phone is on silent. Christine is visited by Callie, who informs her that her mom is after Mike, and she knows that Mike is innocent. Finally, Christine notices her cell phone buzzing, and on the other side, a frantic Mike asks her to get out of the house. But before Christine can take any action, the goons have already barged inside. McGrath snatches Christine's phone and threatens Mike to hand over Armando and whatever evidence Howard has provided shall be destroyed. And only then, Christine and Callie will be released. Tearfully, Armando offers to go to surrender himself to McGrath, but a heartbroken Mike refuses immediately. He wonders that McGrath knew everything about Howard, giving them evidence and being identified. Marcus points out that only Rita knew all that. Mark instantly calls Rita and blurts out everything to her about Adam. Rita becomes cautious and tells Adam that she is heading towards the station as a breakthrough in the case has appeared. Adam also follows her. Soon both begin to wrestle, and Adam is about to strangle her when Dorn and Kelly arrive in time and capture Adam. Mark enforces that no one would be trusted out of their circle consisting of Marcus, Rita, Dorn, Kelly, and Armando. Otherwise, they are inviting more risks toward Christine's and Callie's lives. Rita talks to Adam to reveal his motive for joining McGrath and to get his voice sample. Mike uses Adam's voice to convince McGrath that they would have to move their hostages to Cuba since McGrath screwed up big time. After a pause, McGrath buys Mike's suggestion and immediately orders his personnel to pack up. Soon, the team of bad boys head towards an abandoned amusement park full of gators. Marcus and Mike occupy the plane, while Rita, Kelly, and Dorn hit the road in a truck with Dorn controlling the drones. Meanwhile, Armando is instructed to travel through the waters. Sitting at 10 acres, the park was abandoned due to a hurricane and is home to a huge albino alligator called Duke. As the plane lands in the park, Adam is forced out, severely warned by Mike not to escape. Soon he sees McGrath pushing the hostages roughly. The secret slots of the place open, and Mike and Marcus pull out their snipers through them. While targeting McGrath, who is pushing Christine forward, Mike has the best shot, but at the wrong time. He gets another panic attack, since he fears that, accidentally, he'll kill Christine. Suddenly, McGrath stops as a slithering tremor runs through the water. An alligator has smelled Armando's blood and was rushing towards him. The massacre begins as Mike shoots wildly at McGrath while his other team members fight McGrath's men. Meanwhile, Dorn also sends drones to explode several of McGrath's goons. Soon Marcus, Mike, and Armando have a face-off with McGrath and his goons at McGrath's hideout. Meanwhile, Armando assures a terrified Callie that Mike sent him to save her. He gallantly fights the goons to protect Callie while getting his arm injured. Callie is about to flee the scene, but she turns back and helps an injured Armando on his feet, and then they escape. McGrath drags away Christine into a forest with Mike and Marcus following suit. Inside the hideout, a worn-out Adam slithers out of the broken airplane and then shoots Dorn. However, Rita comes in time and kicks him into Duke's pit. The park is flooded with the police, and Judy frantically searches for Callie until she finds her wristband. Marcus delves into the forest and finds the same beach where he had found Howard in his subconscious state. Suddenly, a gun is placed on his forehead by none other than McGrath. Mike finds McGrath targeting both Marcus and Christine, urging him to choose between his wife and friend. Judy also finds Callie with Armando and is about to shoot him when Callie comes in between, begging her to stop since Armando saved her life. Judy mellows down and finally puts away her gun. Judy embraces Callie and allows Armando to go with Mike. Soon, Mike helps Armando escape through a boat. Marcus keeps on condemning Mike for hitting him while in the background, news is being flashed that Howard has been exonerated. Also, the search for Armando Aretas continues as he is considered a fugitive at large. On a sunny day, all the friends and family are enjoying a barbecue at a park, while Mike and Marcus argue about who is going to cook, when Reggie comes along asking permission to cook his chicken. And here's the end. If you enjoyed this recap and want to stay updated with all our future content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any recap from us. Thanks for watching.